talking about exponential, the second principle is what I focus on expands.
Yeah. Yeah.
I found it interesting as someone who finds it a little bit difficult to focus on one thing, you know, as
Right.
in, but I have in my life focused on one thing, and as you say,
Yeah. So again, it works hand in hand, but I mean, I can give you some high level, maybe not precise examples because we would need a specific context, but yeah, like what I focus on expands. And really what I'm talking about there is the fact that it's the fact that if you're going to say to yourself over and over again, I'm a loser. I'm worthless. I'm giving the hard stuff because this is the hard stuff people want help with. We want to get through our hard stuff, man. Our easy stuff, we're doing good. So if we're saying I'm a loser, I can't do this, I can never learn, I'm a slow learner, I have a problem focusing, I have this, I have that, I have that. That is what I'm talking about. And if you're constantly telling yourself that, guess what happens? It expands.
okay, so it's more more of a negative thing than I.
It's not even a negative. It's not even negative or positive. If you're just going to go around and let me explain a little bit.
Well, I guess it's got two sides, right? Whatever you're focusing
Everything
on.
does, because fortunately or unfortunately,
Yeah.
this dimension, this reality is a dualistic one. We got night and day, we got black and white, we got up and down. It's all, oops, sorry again. We got all this dualistic stuff happening. And ultimately what happens is we start to understand, even through later principles, that when we talk about, and the Buddha, Siddhartha, talks about living balance and living life balance, they're not talking about partying all week until you can't breathe anymore and then going clean. You know, we're talking about the neutrality that comes and the peace that comes from finding balance without the extremes. So what I focus on expands. Again, it's not negative or positive, but it's just the understanding, the principle that that's how life works. If you're going to tell yourself all day long that you can't do something, you're not going to do it. So you can change that. So through the principle, what I do is I teach people how, first of all, the first principle, they're becoming aware about beliefs and thoughts and the reticular activating system, which is this amazing filter, which filters out what you're going to experience. So I can talk about this for a little bit. There's this filter. It's called the reticular activating system, the RAS, and it's fascinating. When I learned about the RAS, I was blown away. So apparently we're taking in, through our data collection, storing in our big data, approximately 32 billion bits of information at any given moment in time. To me, this is mind-blowing. Because I'm like, how is that possible? Well, how it's possible is because we have this RAS, this reticular activating system, which is a filter. And this filter will filter down to like 28 bits at any given moment. And from that 28 bits, apparently some experts tell us we have about 7 that we can focus on at any given time. Personally, I don't think you can be focusing on more than one thing at a time, or else you're just kind of like like this, right? Go ahead, like have 2 thoughts at once. You can have them simultaneously, but you can't have 2 thoughts at once. So that was really fascinating when I learned about that. But what was more fascinating, or what I became really curious about, is 32 billion. That's a lot of pixels. That's the way I say it, right? That's a lot of bits. How does it know which bits to pick? Like, how do I get down to my 28? And I pondered that. Oh, man, did I ponder that? Because the answer wasn't there. Nobody published the answer. And I came up with, it filters by beliefs. What you believe, you will experience. Now, this opens up a whole bunch of other things, which I deal with in the I Create Reality, which is conflicting beliefs, because we have conflicting beliefs, we have all kinds of stuff, and we learn how to work through these things and so on and so forth. And then what I focus on expands is understanding that now that you've got these beliefs and your RAS is going to find evidence, because that's the job of the RAS. It works together with the ego consciousness, and its job is to go there and make your experience, make your beliefs a reality. But look, evidence, look at that. There's no parking anywhere. I've been in cars with people where they're saying, I can never find parking. I can never find parking. I'm like, but there was a parking right there. Oh, I missed it. Well, of
Yeah,
course
of
you
course.
missed it.
Yeah.
Your RAS was tuned into
Missing it.
not seeing the parking. It's no different than you'll hear people that they buy a new car.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God, I love my car. It's like one of a kind. And they're, oh, there's another one. Oop, there's another one. Oop, there's another one.
Yeah.
A woman gets pregnant. Everybody's pregnant. Right? Like, how come there's all these pregnant people all of a sudden? There were always pregnant people, but your RAS was tuned into that. And what I focus on, what I expands, is learning how that process is happening and how to deliberately move your focus. All of the principles, but that's the second principle, essentially.
Nice.
Yes.